Hey everyone, it's Monica. Welcome back to Homeschool Voices. If you need a free curriculum that is easy to access, it's online, easy peasy might just be for you. I am interviewing the creator today, Lee Giles. Thank you so much for joining me today, Lee. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for welcoming me.
Welcome. I'm so excited to chat with you. We started a group here where I live in Santa Clarita, where it's just a local group, and my big thing is to make things affordable and accessible to people. So I'm so excited to talk with you because for
We
people
fit in.
who are busy, it's free. It's amazing. So I was just wondering if you could tell me how you came up with it and kind of what's your philosophy behind everything.
A little bit of a big question, but
No, I'm joking.
it's it started because I was homeschooling my own kids. I have 6 kids. At the time, I had 4 kids, and we were living overseas. We were missionaries, and it's really hard to travel with a lot of books, and so it's just half of our suitcases were full of books. Every suitcase had books because of the weight limits. Like, it was a big trick, how to get all the books overseas, and it was hard. So we started doing online. That's like pushed the switch to online learning for our family. I started reading books online, using websites, and I started a collection of websites, just making a list of them, organizing my list that I would find stuff. Like, here's math, here's this, and I kept organizing it. And then I would make assignments for my kids every weekend, like write out, and I'd bookmark websites like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like, I bookmark stuff like that for them. Then every week I was deleting it and making new bookmarks and throwing away my assignments and writing out new assignments. And I'm like, I'm throwing away all my work. They have like younger siblings. They're going to need to do this too. So easy peasy started. I wanted homeschooling to be easier for myself. Like, I just wanted to save the assignments to be able to use with the next kids and not have to keep redoing my work. And so yeah, I mean, it just started as me doing it for my kids. I mean, the first year was just my kids using it, and but I made the decision from the beginning, like, the first day, like, do I write this like I'm talking to my kids, or do I make it so that other people could use it? And it was a lot. I mean, obviously it's a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff on there. I didn't want it just to be, for my kids. I wanted to be able to share it. So the once I had the second year underway, like a full year done for a few different grade levels, I did kids in different grades, I shared it with my 100 blog followers, and who found me. I didn't have a blog. I call myself the accidental blogger. It was just for like the grandparents back home to see what we were doing. We made lap books, and I'd post pictures of it. It would say homeschooling, like Google like alerts would tell people about, like, alert them about something about lap books or homeschooling, and people would find my blog. So I had these like followers. I didn't need to have a blog or have followers, but I shared it with them, and that was it. I mean, Easy Peasy's never been advertised. We don't do that kind of stuff, but now we have 70,000 families registered, and it just,
Well, I advertise it all the time.
It became something that
it's free.
Yeah, it didn't start as anything like, oh, I have this business plan. There's never any like model of this is what I'm building. It's just came to be from that.
That is very, very cool. And about, that it's free. I mean, you could probably make a lot of money with this, but you decided to make it free. Why?
Yeah, well, the story's on the website about that. When I started making this, we were completely poor, completely broke, on purpose. My husband left his work just to do ministry, and we lived by miracle for a year and a half. There's stories on the website if you're interested in that. But I tried to get a job making homeschool materials, and I got accepted, and I got a contract, and I felt like I shouldn't do it, that I should give stuff away. I mean, and so I put this stuff on my accidental blog, and got my 100 followers, and that started Easy Peasy. And so it was never a question about selling it. Like, that was just before it was ever, Easy Peasy was a thing. It was already settled in me. I wasn't going to sell the things I made. So that's never been a question. And we, It's our lifestyle. We made ourselves poor on purpose. But and we were living overseas. I mean, $1,000 is enough for a month, you know. So, you know, like back, you know, 7 years ago, whatever, maybe I got $1,000 in donations, and some of that went to pay for the site stuff, and some of it went to our family, you know. But we didn't need a lot of money, you know. And then it grew to $10,000. You know, now it's our income. I mean, there's enough people that, you know, even if only 10%, you know, most people don't donate, but if 10% donate, it's significant enough at this point that it's enough for our income. And we lived with my parents for 3 years, so, and saved up, and they sold us their house. They downsized and sold us their house. So we have a house debt free. Wow. They sold it to us for like a third of the cost. They just sold us for what they needed to move to their place.
And when you say donation, I mean, you're talking, what is it? So you're talking about when we're going to get into this, the My Easy Peasy, which is sort of this way of trying to make it a little more easy for people, I think. And it's like $5 or something, right? I mean, you're asking.
Well, no, it's you don't have to donate anything.
You don't have to.
I mean, really, most people don't donate anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always want to make sure people understand you don't have to. Everyone's treated the same. Like I don't track. I don't know if you write to me for support. I don't know if you donated or not. Everyone's treated the same. You know, everyone gets. People who donate don't get like some other access. There's no motivation to donate. You know, it's just
seriously a donation.
It's seriously a donation.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a recommended thing on there for $15 when you register. But you know.
Well, cool. So I can get chatting forever, but what I really want to do is to share my screen with you, and I want to have you walk me through, because I think I have so many people in my group. We have a little over 800, and it's not huge, but it's big for our little town. And so many, I'd probably say 3/4 of those people are brand new to homeschooling, and a lot of them could really, you know, they were hoping to get charter funds here in California, and then it was sort of cut off. And so many people aren't getting in the charters and aren't getting funds. And so I'm pointing them to your site, but then a lot of them just feel overwhelmed with life in general, and they look at it and they're overwhelmed. Yeah. Let's walk them through. So I'm going to share my screen.
And that's a good thing about Easy Peasy. It's just a good way to get started homeschooling.
Yes.
Because you're not making an investment, and it's eclectic. So like there's videos, and there's reading, and there's textbooks, and there's hands-on projects, and you can kind of see what you like and what you don't like. So then if you want to move to something else, we really like the textbooks, or really don't like the textbooks, or we like the projects, or that's just like a pain and a mess, and I don't like the projects, you know, like you can see what you like and either don't use it with Easy Peasy, or you can find curriculum that you know fits whatever you found you really like.
That's an important point that I keep reminding people, is that you just use it to serve your purposes. You don't have to do every single thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not a crafter. I'm always like, crafts are optional. Not my thing.
Do crafts. Okay, so here I am. I'm new to homeschooling. We'll say I have 2 kids, and I just want to do everything. What do I do? Where do I go first? Can you see my
scroll? Yeah, okay. Scroll down a little bit. Now, the thing that's different is last year we introduced this My EP. Like you used to just go to this website and you clicked on your courses, or or we had things like called first level for second level and stuff like that. That you went to those pages, and now we have this other site that we kind of added on, which is I think some of the confusion. Like you have to go to a different website to access the lessons. Now that quick start guide right there is a little short video that will go through what we'll go through now. So if people want to, can't remember what we did, that's a little walkthrough of just setting up your account the easiest, quickest way possible. It only takes a couple minutes.
Okay.
So what we need to do is go to My EP Assignments if you want to set up and start using it. If you want to come on All-in-One Home, right now we're at all-in-one-homeschool.com. So you'd come here, you can look at all the courses are listed there. There's a how to use, you can watch videos about the math curriculum or the reading curriculum or whatever. If you just wanted to learn about the curriculum and see the courses, you could come here and
where are those videos specifically?
So But if you're ready to get started, you're like, I want to try this, then you would go to the My EP Assignments towards the top of the menu there.
Oh, right here. Okay. Let's click.
To get set up. So the philosophy Easy Peasy is easy peasy. We believe just choose what is good for your family and then let it be enough. Don't compare yourself to everyone else. We are short and sweet. We try and do a really good job with the basics and then give your kids time to go and do the things they love to do. Our catchphrase is more time for happy.
Right. Oh, I like that.
So I need to change that link. Oh, this is great. There, I need to make it go directly there. Click on the myepassignments.com. I'm going to change that link, everybody. It's going to go directly there next time. That's
awesome. Cool.
That's an old link.
So next time it'll just go straight to.
It's going to go straight there. We don't need that anymore. We have that stuff on a What's New page because it was a new thing last year. So we were just trying to teach everyone about it, and we have a page called What's New where you can always go and look each month to see what's been added to the site to make sure you're not missing stuff that's going on.
And while this is loading, we'll just chat. And you also have a Facebook page where people can go and ask questions too, right?
So customer support, we have email, but the best way to get really fast support is Facebook. We have a Facebook support group. I mean, we have 100 Facebook, we have over 100 groups. But there's a main support group where you can, if like a link is broken or you're having trouble logging in, you're having whatever, our tech support group. There are people, volunteers, amazing volunteers who, some of them have been helping since the very first year I released this. And they, are just on they're seriously on 24 hours a day. They're amazing. They answer people's questions.
And what's the name of the official group?
So it's probably Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool. We have on that All-in-One Homeschool site has like all the links. You can on there somewhere you can find the Facebook groups. So we have a whole page on there listing all of these different groups.
Okay.
Help you find them. But if you search them on Facebook, you'll find them. You'll different places on the site. It'll say here's our support group. We call that our support group where you get tech support. But then every state has their own Facebook group.
Okay.
Different grade levels have Facebook groups. Grandparents homeschooling, RV homeschoolers, military homeschoolers, special needs homeschooling.
Wow.
Large family homeschooling, all using Easy Peasy.
That's amazing. That's very neat. Okay.
So it's a great community.
Let's get started here.
So your first time using it, you can just enter as a guest.
Okay, let's enter
if you want. You can do that. It will remember you on your browser.
Oh, I set up in the past.
Okay.
I set this up in the past just so people know.
So it will, you'll have only one person here. It'll say student 1. It won't have a name yet because you haven't given it a name. But if you do enter as a guest, it's going to remember all your information on your browser. So if you decide to make an account, which you can just do for free, but when you're ready to commit, I say, you can click on that button and make an account, go through the registration page. You just pick in you use your email address as your username, and then you pick a password.
Okay.
And I don't, I'm not collecting and selling your information, anything. I don't have any, I don't have all your information. And then you log in from any computer or any browser after you do that.
So I'll just click Tommy here.
Well, the first thing you'll do is go to parent settings because they'll just have student 1 there. So let's go to parent settings because you'll want to set up your child. Okay. So can scroll down just a little bit, and the very first thing you'll do is right here, you'll edit student. Do you see that?
This is correct. Edit student.
You'll click on edit student and type in the first child's name that you want to use.
So I'll just keep it Tiffany Custer, but that's normally it would say student 1, and then you would just.
Right. So then you just click save, and the name will show up there. And then we have this thing called student color. You can see how there's purple around here. It starts out with this yellow color. That's the default. But that's just a little visual cue to you and your kids so they don't make sure no one's using someone else's schoolwork, make sure they're paying attention. Their name will be on their page, but they'll also have this color. I just think it's a nice little visual cue to make sure kids aren't clicking on each other's assignments.
How do I change the color?
Click on, I don't know, click on the that big pink dot. See if it kind of like selected or something. I don't know, see. And now it doesn't change that yellow box. It changes it down here. I can't point, I'm pointing to you, but you can't see me. It changes around the box. It always keeps that default color up there in case you want to set it back.
Okay. Okay, so now we have all of their classes, right? It sort of pre-selects.
Well, everyone's going to be set to first grade.
Okay.
So what you're going to want to do is click Set Level and Theme under Course Selection.
And it's not set on first grade because I went in here and played around.
Yeah, you've played around. It'll come as a default. Everything's set to 1. So whatever that is for each course block. So you just pick your child. These are basically grade levels. There's at the very top there. Can you scroll back up for a second? There's a placement guides here for math, reading, language, arts. So we do suggest that people use that. If you're coming out of public school, our reading is usually advanced compared to public school, and our math is behind compared to public school, because we spend the first 2 years when they're young just focusing on reading. That was just I needed my kids to work independently, and so we just focused on reading, and then they can use the site independently. So that's just how we're set up. I mean, it still goes through calculus in high school. Your child can get there. Even if you're not doing all the stuff in kindergarten, your child can still get to calculus. So yeah, Easy Peasy goes all the way through that. So you just choose your child's grade level, and then it can be adjusted from there. But so just like their main basic grade level, even if you're like, oh, but for reading I need something else, just go ahead and choose their basic grade level.
That's second 4.
And then, yeah, it doesn't matter. And then any history. Okay, this confuses people. It's set up so that all your kids can study the same topics for history and science.
Okay, can you
elaborate
on that?
What?
Can you just elaborate on why? Because for people who are new to homeschooling, they're not.
Right.
I know why you did it, but can you elaborate?
Yeah, people want to know which grade levels, which one. Yeah. It's set up for kids to do together. So there's like an elementary version of each history, and there's a middle school version of each history. And it's so that your family can do it together. Some families do that portion of their school together. Some families want to do field trips based on the topics they're learning. Some might want to, do a read aloud about it or whatever. It just makes it so you can it's nice to be able to study the same things at the same time. There's no reason that they can't, everyone can't be studying about bones on the same day or pyramids or whatever. So it sets up, it'll assign them to the proper level of course based on the grade level you chose. Okay. Then you just choose your theme. So you can choose that for every kid. So pick one and choose it for all your kids. That's our suggestion. And once you choose one, if you use it next year, just go in order. It's kind of like a chronological order. So you start every year. Yeah. Yeah. It's a cycle.
Cool. So if I did one next year, I would do the same history for both kids, and then next year I would just move down the list and do the next one.
You just do the next one, yeah.
There it is. Okay, cool. Okay, so here's where I'm at. Now I got me to day 1.
So when you just hit like enter without typing in the name, then you lost it. So you want to put a name back in? Seriously? You didn't type in a name, so it can't. You just hit. You hit save maybe, and so you didn't type in a name, so it saved blank. You're gonna have to give it a name. You can give it Tiffany Tester again if you want.
Another tester. Another test kiddo.
There you go.
There we go. And
there you go.
Do I need to go back and do the Do I need to do
no,
the
No, it's all set. No, it's fine.
Cool.
So scroll down. There's the placement guides link again, right next to set levels and theme.
Wait, right there. Okay.
There's that again. So if you wanted to tweak anything, you can do it from here. So like in math, this kid's really good at math. So you want to move up to math 5. So you can click next right under that. So these courses work as blocks. Like that's the math block. And so if you use previous or next, you're just going to scroll through all of our math courses.
That's what I wanted to know. I was trying to do that.
So it's just
easy.
I program this and I don't know very much. It's all very simple. It's just a list of math courses and you're just scrolling through them. So it goes, you keep clicking next, you'll end up at calculus. You keep clicking previous, you'll get down to math 1. So same thing for reading like this.
5, 6 here?
We used to call these steps, and then that confused people, so we switched it to Math 5, 6. Because this is an unusual course compared to every other course in the curriculum. Every course is 180 days to do a full school year. This one is a little shorter, and we encourage people to have your kids do it at their own pace. I think it's just from my experience in middle school. They kind of tracked us in middle school. Some of us got to be more advanced, and we were on the course to calculus, and then on the track to get to calculus in our senior year, and then others had an extra year in middle school before they started algebra. And that's where, just from my school experience, where this came from. But we encourage you to do it at your own pace. Some kids go through it really fast and move on. My daughter took 2 years to finish this course. She took 5th and 6th grade to do this. She's my artist. She's got a full scholarship to college with her art. She didn't need to see math. That was not her need. But like my son did it in like 3 months because he really liked it and went faster than it was like 140 lessons. It's not like it's nothing, but to him it was like fun, and he just did a lot. So this is a little bit different than our other courses. We do encourage you just to make sure your kids get these basics, because if they're not getting fractions and they don't know their math facts and things, if they're not getting this basic stuff, then moving to algebra, they're just going to get farther and farther behind. They're not going to be able to, it's not going to be, you're just going to get stuck. This is like the fundamentals course. Make sure you know this before you move on and start the algebra stuff. So,
and and actually just that you mentioned before about how the math is a little behind public school, but then they still get up to calculus by high school. I think that's interesting, because I did hear feedback that it is a little behind public school, but it's interesting that it still catches them up. And so by the time high school,
I mean, if you do this in course in 5th grade, and the 6th grade and 7th grade, 8th grade, one course a year, which would that's the normal thing to do, one course a year. You get calculus your senior year. So, I had calculus my senior year. Maybe public schools now have 2 years of calculus. I don't know. But it's an AP calculus course based off a course from an open course from MIT. So, it's high quality stuff. I know we call it easy peasy, and some people have to get over the mental block of it being called easy peasy.
Yeah.
But it's high quality stuff. I mean, if you look at our literature, it's really, it's high quality stuff.
You know what I did? I used because you put, I think it was a 7th grade curriculum, and it was a huge part of it was writing a book.
Yeah.
And we did that last year, but I kind of just, because I'm this kind of person that pieces together everything, because you said just use it how you want. And so I took just the book writing stuff and I applied it to my then 3rd and 6th graders, and they both wrote books. So thank you. I just like random little thought. That was so cool. I would have had a hard time doing that myself. So that was really cool.
They have that in 4th and 6th grade. They have the big writing projects is a nonfiction writing research paper, I think. But then in 5th and 7th, the big project is a fiction writing thing. So they go, even in 5th grade, they do they fill out these worksheets to build a book and figure out their plot and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, good. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I have every once in a while I have a kid send me a book, like, can we send you my book that I wrote?
I'll just give you you'll be like inundated with kid books to read. Okay, so here we are. So that's really cool. So again, in case somebody missed it, if you need to adjust your kids' level, say in math, you're going to go here where it says next or previous. Say my kid's really behind, I can go to 3rd, or if they're really ahead, I can go to 6th, 7th, and there you are. I mean, that's actually really easy.
Yeah.
So how do I actually use this? Oh wait, unless you have something else.
Well, just about the lesson number. I mean, you're going to be starting fresh, so you'll start at lesson 1. You won't need to worry about that. But if you ever needed to, you can go ahead and type a number in there in that box. If you ever needed to, decided to, for whatever reason, start somewhere else or move back to a place or skip over a unit and go to another unit, you're allowed to, just click anywhere and it'll.
So if I go like lesson 15, is that what you mean? Like right here?
Yeah, like you can type and just click somewhere, anywhere in that big pink box, just click somewhere. like as you make the next change, it'll just kind of save itself.
That's cool.
Anyway, and then the big red X in the corner, that's pretty obvious that if you wanted to not have reading, because you just have a reading time every day, don't want to use a curriculum or something, you just click the big X and that will disappear. And I'll show you in a minute where it goes, so you can put it back if you want.
Should I do that? You want me
If you want to, sure.
Okay, let's do that. Get rid of language arts 4.
There you go. At the bottom of each box, it says move up and down. So if you wanted to change the order, they appear on the student page. That's what that does.
Yeah, so computer went over reading.
So that's like how it will show up on the student page.
And now it went back down. Cool.
So if you wanted to do reading first, I don't know, whatever. I think it's good to do the hard things first. Not everyone has that philosophy. I think it's good to get the hardest, whatever is like your least favorite, get it over with.
The code is what I always say.
First. So usually math or reading, one or the other. So put that first. So these next couple things, computer and thinking, there's a note on there. This is a once-a-week course. So it shows on your parent page. This is a question we get a lot. Like, it shows on the parent page, but then they go to the student page and it's not there. It's because it's a once-a-week course. The computer will know when to show you that course. There's one for every day. There's 5 once-a-week courses. So you get computer one day, thinking one day, art, music, and PE health. Those are the 5 specials. So every day you get a special. It's all in one homeschool. You get everything. So it'll know when to show your child.
So cool.
Thinking is like logic games and stuff.
Okay. Nice. All right.
So Bible has its own course.
What has its own course?
So zoology. So zoology isn't related to early American history, but it's what's paired in our like ordering of courses. That's what's paired together. Okay. So you could choose another science. It's not going to, affect anything. Just remember to move through the cycle of the 4 courses.
How would I choose another easy peasy science, you mean? Could I add it in here?
Well, you can add an extra science, or you can use previous and next and just change that if you wanted to use something else.
Okay.
Like when you choose the history theme, it automatically assigns a science, but it's not related, so it's not really important.
And so when it says 1 to 4, does that mean like it's grouped for like grades 1 to 4?
So that's the lower level for elementaries. 1st through 4th grade are using the same materials, and then 5 through 8. So if you go like next after physics and chemistry, then it'll say go back to the beginning to biology 5 to 8.
Very cool.
And if you kept playing next, you'd see the high school courses. That's the science block, so you'd see them all. But you'll see here music and art do say early American, like they are related to the history theme. So, at different times they'll match up to what's happening in history, the time period in history. Maybe you'll do a musician or art from that time period or something like that. So they're related to the history. Not always, because sometimes you're learning about an instrument or something, or an art technique or something. But anyway, it's nice to do them together. They're made to go together.
Yeah, this is great. I'm so glad I did it. It's funny because question that I had was right there if I started clicking things, and I didn't. But it's right there. So that's really cool. I love it. Okay. So you can change that stuff. You can get rid of stuff. And then we have...
So those are all showing there, but on the student page, it'll just give you one of those extra courses on any given day. So at the bottom here, there's 2 little links, extras page and parent add-ons. So the extras page is the first thing I put on there for people who wanted to double up on something. I don't really encourage that, but some people want to do it for whatever reason. So because it's like a math block, you couldn't have 2 maths. So on the extra page, you could add a second math block or a second reading block or whatever. You can, every course is here. I just labeled it extra there. So if you click on it, it's going to look just like the other one. You can click on one, or electives too. Why don't you click on electives so you can see what's there.
I see that.
The electives is what first probably prompted it because people wanted to have more than one of the elective courses. So there's 2 art classes that are separate from the regular art classes. Mm-hmm. If you go previous, I think you'll probably find them there. There's a drawing and painting course and a drawing professionally course. My daughter made those. So 3rd through 7th grade is what the recommended age for that. And the other one's 6th and up. So some of the electives, most electives are for high school, but those are some things that younger kids could use. So anyway, this is going to double that box. They're going to have 2 PE health boxes now.
So, okay.
And these are also, okay, so these are every day. Let me point that out, like PE health, if you wanted for some reason to go through like the music course, or you want to gym every day or whatever, you could add it from the extras page instead of from the regular page. The regular page just shows them once a week. But if for some reason you wanted to go through them faster, have them every day, you could add it from the extras page and it will show up every day.
Okay, cool. So maybe I'm like, oh, that's too much. I'm gonna get rid of that. So now what's next? Like, how do I add this to the other list on the other page?
So it's going to stay here. Click Save and Return, but it will show up on the student page. We'll get to the student page in a second and you'll see it there. So if you ever like, there's a course on my student page and I don't know where it's coming from, you added it on the extras page, so you have to go find it there.
Okay.
I haven't been snazzy enough to get it to add on to this page. These are kind of things I kind of just added in after the fact for people. So there's one more thing under there called Parent Add-ons, which was one of the newest things I've added.
So this was interesting.
So you can type in, you could just have like a course name like Practice Piano and just have it on there so it shows up on their student list every day. But you could also send them to a link. You know, there's a math facts link you want them to go to, or you know, if you're using some other website, Duolingo, or, you know, if you're using something else, you can type in a course name and type in a link. Make sure you click to save these. So like click to save the
Up here?
Down right next to where you were. It says click here to save.
I'm so sorry.
You wrote Practice Piano. Right next to that it says click here to save. No, it's okay. So like our admin are like, people don't read anything. Yes, it's on the site, but yeah, that's why we're going over it. Okay, so click on the other one too, just because I'm trying to think of how the code works. Like it may show up like the writing, but it needs to think. We're doing something in the brain of the program, adding in your own things there.
All right, I clicked it.
Okay, so that's going to show up on our student page now. So that's and I called it link from parents so that, you know, we don't get reports of broken links for stuff that is not in our site.
That's funny.
So at the one more thing, very bottom of the page.
It's the bottom.
Dun, dun, dun. There's the unused courses. So you got rid of language arts, and there it is at the bottom.
Oh.
So you can click on that, and that'll bring it back to the top.
Like if I made a mistake.
Yeah, if you want, or you can change your mind, whatever. So you can see Spanish there at the bottom. Like it didn't give it to you because we don't have Spanish until middle school, so it didn't give you Spanish. But
I can add it.
Things are at the bottom. Sure, you can. We start Spanish in 6th. But anyway,
we're overachievers. Yeah. There's no Spanish for the 4th level.
But you could click next and move to the next. Yeah, it's like automatically knew you wanted 4th, but.
And 5th.
It starts in 6th. Right now we go through, we have 3 years of high school Spanish. And Spanish we have, for Spanish, like we have middle school Spanish level 6 and level 7, and then we do Spanish 1, 2, and 3. We may get a 4th. It has started and stopped a few different times. It's like beyond me, so I can't just whip it out myself. I need help. Sometimes I get someone interested, but then it hasn't come together. But we have a live Spanish practice class for the Spanish 1, 2, and 3.
Really?
That meets once a week. It's a cost. It's for the full year. It's $100 for a live class once a week to practice. But we always help. I don't advertise this too much because you know, someone will post on some Facebook group, they give away stuff for free, and then all of a sudden I get like 50 requests for free stuff, and I'm like, we don't just have like a pile of books to give you. This is like me literally buying it for you, you know.